Harry, this is Lord Potato, and this is What If Naruto was the younger brother of Ace, the Portgas. So yes, this is part 2 of it. I know it's been about 3 to 2 weeks, probably-ish. Um, but other than that, I am trying to do 3 What If a day because, well, I am going to be working again on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, of course, this is where, well, I want to just upload a bunch of videos before those days happen. And then I will, try to fix my sleeping schedule because it's shit right now. But yeah. But other than that, let me begin into the what if and shut the fuck up for myself. But yeah. No recaps because it hasn't been 1 month. So, let me begin. So we go into Naruto and Menma kind of being in a different classroom. Entirely from their old classroom where they just pranked the shit out of everyone. Sasuke, Sasakura, Mento, anyone. It didn't matter. Because Naruto has a fruit called the Kitu Kitu no Mi. Meaning that, or it was another, name for it. But it's just Blue Flame's Devil Fruit. Of course, Ace has a Devil Fruit that has, well, the what's it called? I forgot his devil fruit name, but yeah, he has a flame devil fruit, like the original one. The original canon one he has in original canon. But yeah, of course, Ace is 14 while Naruto is 10. Ace is right now tuning, and even Itachi's a tuning. Of course, their third teammate that I tried to mention last time. Her name is Hana Inuzuka. So I did mention that she's able to kind of use fire style, which is kind of true-ish. Well, true. She's probably the only Inuzuka that can actually use fire with her dogs, but yeah. She's the third teammate for, Itachi and, Ace. Now, I don't remember how old Hana was, but I'm gonna just say that she's 14, just like Ace and Itachi. But yeah, Hana... We go into, a mission with Hana, Ace, and even Itachi. There might be tunings and they don't really need to be together as a team, but that doesn't mean they don't need to because, they still work as a team pretty good. Ace is right now kind of fighting against some ninjas. Ace is right now sending a burst of flames at them. This is where Itachi's sending a fireball, and even Hana is using fire style to kind of extend her claws from her hand and her 2 dogs that she has. Now these 2 dogs are very I don't remember what her dogs look like in original canon, but of course these 2, one has black fur and red eyes and can actually kind of transform into fire, like his fur can go into fire, while the other one can actually become wind, like a wind type of dog. But yeah, of course, she's right now clawing through them and burning through some of the ninjas. But yeah, this is where, after Ace, Hana, and Itachi did that, this is where they see a masked man. This masked man looks at them. This is where Obito tries to rush at Ace. This is where Obito swings his blade towards Ace, and it just faces through him. He goes, wait, what the fuck? Ace turns around and says, fire burst! Boom! This is where Obito manages to dodge. He says, what the? This is where Ace did put Armorman Hawking because he does know about Hawkins. He only knew a little bit until he kind of trained with his brother and also kind of met someone that he never thought he would ever meet. Mostly his uncle. Well, kind of uncle. This man that Ace kind of met a while ago. He only met him because he did kind of went to the 5 Great Nations. This man was named, Rayleigh. Silvern Rayleigh, the Demon King. Of course, this is where Silvern Rayleigh wanted to help, his best friend, or, mostly his captain's 2 children, Ace and Luffy. So, of course, he teaches them how to use Armorman Hawking, Conqueror's Hawking, and even Opposition Hawking. Gives them a kind of glimpse on how to use Conqueror's Hawking. And Opposition Armorman Hawking was easy enough. This is where Ace transformed his fist into an Armorman Hawking, and while Obito is trying to use Kamui, Ace managed to punch him straight in the face, like, bitch, get the fuck out of my way. Yes, the Armorman Hawking does nullify even chakra-based attacks. It might nullify, fire and all that, but it's also nullifying straight up chakra based attacks. This is where Obito winds his eyes and gets smashed to the wall. This is where Ace appears, sending a burst of flames. This is where Obito dodges. This is where Obito says, "Damn it!" This is where Itachi appears, trying to clash with Obito's sword. And when Obito does that, this is where Hana appears with her two mutts saying, what's it called? It's, I want to say Edo Tensei for some reason. No, not that. Tensugana or something. I forgot what it was. But she rushes where two mutts turn into a tornado of like three attacks, like a tornado, but turn into fire and trying to crush Obito. Obito managed to dodge, but couldn't dodge the uppercut from Ace, sending it straight up in the air. This is where Obito thought his combo would be able to dodge Ace. Nah, Ace is fucking him up. Ace is not showing him any time to relax. This is where Obito, he's kind of right now, well, far away from them. This is where he's kind of a good distance from him. Now, he's not in combo, but this is where Ace pulls out his finger out, showing like if it was a gun and like flintlock and all that. And this is where fire bullets appear. He shots two of them and shoots it, and Obito's like making him fall down to the ground, smashing his face into the ground. This is where he winded his eyes. He didn't expect, Ace to do that. Ace said, fire clones. This is where he makes a fire clones with hand signs, and this is where the two fire clones rushes at Obito, right now having Armament Hawk in their fists. And this is where, Obito had to use Kamui, and this is where he appears behind Hana trying to kill her. This is where Ace says, no, you don't. This is where he appears because he uses Arbitration Hawking and knew where Obito was going to be. This is where Ace pushes her away, and this is where Hana sees Ace get cut. And this is where Ace goes, Tuh. This is where Itachi gets angry. The fact that he just saw his best friend get cut down. Now, this is where Itachi, he sees that Ace didn't go into, facing through the attack because he didn't want Hana to get hurt. And this is where Itachi activated his MS. He had a 3 Tomoes, now he's in MS. This is where he managed to catch, what's it called? Obito under an illusion. Tsukiyomi. For some reason that came up to his head. And this is where, Obito, where he was, widened his eyes. No. MS. This is where what Itachi does is torture Obito so bad that Obito gets traumatized. Obito gets out of the Tsukiyomi but terrified of Itachi's power. This is where he falls down. And this is where Itachi's tired, but of course he's angry. This is where, Obito gets out of the way. He says, damn, I can't trick, Itachi. He can't get Itachi to kind of help him destroy the Uchihas. And of course, this is where, even though Itachi's weak, he is also weak. He's traumatized. He doesn't feel like the right of himself. This is where Obito was about to use Kamui to teleport away, but this is where Ace appears, saying, screw you! Fire burst! This is where Obito smashes into multiple trees. Couldn't even get away. Because, Ace added Armament Hawking to that, fire burst. His fire was kind of, black at the same time. This is where, the Armament Hawking added to the Devil Fruit, Logia, kind of made it for you not to able to get away because it nullifies the chakra base. This is where, Ace is right now hurt from one arm because he is cut to a really huge gash. And this is where, Hana sees Ace. Ace was about to fall down because he's out of strength now. This is where, Hana says, Ace! This is where, she then looks at, Itachi. Itachi's kind of tired, but he's not knocked out. This is where, Itachi's, mostly their leader, mostly their team's, leader, what's it called? Their kind of team leader kind of appears, the Jonin. This Jonin has, orangey spiky hair. And of course, he has one scar running through his, eye, but down to his, mouth a little bit. So, yeah. It kind of looks like a beaky, but not really. And of course, this is where, he has orange eyes. Now, of course, he, his other eye that had the scar, he can actually open it pretty easily. But of course, when he opens it, he shows a crimson red, slick eye. This is where, you might think that the QB is the only one with the crimson red slick eye. Which, yes, everyone knows that the QB was sealed into Menma. But this person was hurt into the battle of going against the Naintos. he was managing to actually absorb some of the Nine Tails. And some of that Nine Tails that he managed to seal away managed to leak in after not trying to put it properly into the seal. Of course, leaking into him, making his eye that was kind of like hurt in battle before fighting against the Nine Tails reactivated, becoming the Crimson Red Eye. This is where, well, his vision goes extremely far. Think of it like what's it called, Kakashi's Sharingan. It'd be like that, but of course, it's not passed on from someone else. Basically, the QB just kind of infected this eye, making it its kind of own eye to see, making the user have its flames became way stronger because the Nine Tails flames is pretty damn strong. Now, this is where, well, the leader kind of looks where Obito went. And he managed to glimpse in where Obito went, but he managed to vortex out of there. Managing to use Kamui. This is where, well, everyone kind of sighs, but this is where Itachi's passing out. This is where the team leader does grab him. And this is where, well, the team leader sees Hana kind of like helping Ace right now. And this is where the team leader says, whoever that guy was not part of the mission. I don't even know why he even attacked. This is where, well, he closes his eyes and goes to Han to help Ace. But yeah, this is where we go back to the academy. Both Naruto and Menma are in this classroom just not knowing what the fuck they're doing there. And I should mention one thing. Menma, I did mention that he had blondish hair. Yes, he still has blonde hair. And Mento is the one with red hair. But yeah, this is where, well, Mento doesn't have the whisker marks, but Menma does. But yeah, because Mento barely even has a fraction of the Nine Tails. She has 25%. Menma has 75%. The full soul, and well, 75% also. Did my ear pop? Not the point. I was burping for a while until when I was talking. I feel like I can hear from my right ear now. I don't know, but I don't care. But it's odd. But of course, I'm going to this goddamn what if and shut the fuck up about my ear because it popped or not. But let me begin. So of course, this is where, well, both Menma and Naruto are confused. Blink, 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 because they did get the well, kind of news from, well, the teacher saying you two are going into another kind of classroom. Fuck off and leave me alone. This is where they're confused. Of course, this is where Menma cannot protect his sister from, well, Kiba, because first of all, Menma does not like Kiba kind of going after his younger sister, who Mento is only a couple of a couple of hours late, so that's why she's a little bit younger. And of course, Menma does not care. He still will protect his sister, his younger sister. He seems like it because, well, yeah. And so where, well, Mento, she is strong enough to protect herself from Kiba because she does have Kushina's personality. Menma does have also Kushina and, well, Minato's personality, so yeah. Of course, this is where, well, Naruto, he is with Menma, and of course, they are going through, well, the, classroom. They get to the classroom, and of course, they get inside. The teacher says that you two can go sit down. Now, they kind of figure out this person's name is Karasu Yami. Of course, this is where they sit at the very back and decide to start planning and pranking everyone in this damn classroom. Because both Naruto and, well, Menma are very pranksters. Infinite pranksters. So, yeah. The reason why is because no one is able to actually catch up to Naruto or even Menma's speed and getting away from people. Even almost, they managed to get away. Problem is Naruto can go into a blue flame, well, ability to kind of just disappear, and his skills are too advanced for anyone. Now, Menma does not wear what's called like orange, like what's called original canon Naruto. He wears what's called like dark green, dark brown, well not dark brown, dark pants, like dark, I'm gonna say yellow, and dark what's it called, blue sandals. Of course, he can easily get away from anyone. Even if he was wearing orange, he can easily still get away from anyone. But yeah. So where, well, Naruto on the other hand is wearing kind of just black. Well, fully black, but of course he's also wearing a hat somewhat. Just like, well, Ace does. Ace does wear a hat like a, what's it called? That one hat like an original canon, that orange hat. Yeah. Instead of Naruto wearing an orange hat, it's kind of blue, so yeah. This is where, well, Naruto is right now just talking to well, not Ace, mostly Menma in the academy. This is where the teacher gets annoyed and throws a chalk at both of them. Naruto chalk faces through him while Menma dodges. This is where, well, Karasu kind of already realized that Naruto's able to just phase through any attacks, thanks to his ability to just become blue flames. People widened their eyes when they saw that. Naruto says, "It's an illusion." This is where some of them say bullshit. This is where Naruto realized that none of them are actually going to believe it's an illusion. That's why Naruto realized that they are actually going to be a little tougher and, well, not trying to be tricked. This is where Naruto says, "Damn it." This is where, well, Menma says, "That almost hit me in the face. Damn it, I wish I had your ability." This is where Naruto says, "Go find a strange fruit and eat it." The fuck? Is that how you got it? I don't know. I can't remember how I even got it. Menma says, "I don't care. But other than that, let's figure out how to prank these people." They both kind of laugh sinisterly. But yeah, this is where, well, after the academy kind of being over mostly the day, and they are going, this is where, well, what's it called? Well, Menma and Naruto are walking down. This is where Naruto and Anbu appears. Well, mostly, Anbu appears telling Naruto that Ace was injured in battle and is right now in the hospital. This is where Naruto runs very fast. This is where he transformed into blue flames and kind of shot up in the sky and start kind of flying towards, well, Ace's location would be at. This is where Menma starts kind of jumping on the roof and kind of running. Kind of seeing how Naruto's face kind of changed from happy-go-lucky towards just this horrified face. This is where Luffy, mostly Naruto, is running straight towards the, well, not straight towards the academy, running, mostly kind of using his blue flames to kind of inject himself up in the sky and kind of fly with it. He figured this out a while ago, but of course, he's going in such a high speed that he managed to get into the, what's it called, hospital in about 3 minutes. This is where Menma managed to get there in about 10 minutes, but he was tired. This is where, well, Naruto says, "Where's my brother at?" This is where, well, the nurse and, well, doctors refuse to let Naruto in, but Naruto says, "Screw off!" This is where blue flames exploded from his body. This is where most of them didn't want to piss off Naruto because he is the younger brother of Ace, Chunin rank Ace. And of course, some of them already knows that Ace can explode into orange flames if they don't move out of his way. But Naruto has a very potent blue flame. So all of them just say, "Fuck." This is where Hiruzen says, "All of you, get away." This is where all of them move out of the way because it's the Hokage. And this is where Hiruzen can see how Naruto's angry, furious, right now with just this anger look. This is where Hiruzen says, "Calm down, my boy. Ace is right now in that bed." What Naruto does is run past him and run straight towards Ace. That's when he opens the door and says, "Ace!" This is where, well, a girl is kind of next to him with, what's it called, her face having somewhat markings, kind of like the Inuzuka, and this is where the two dogs are kind of laying down in the ground because they were also hurt from Obito's attacks mostly. But this is where, well, Hana is saying, "Ace, get up. Please don't leave me." This is where she looks up and sees, well, Ace's younger brother, Naruto the Portgas. This is where Naruto runs straight toward Ace and says, Ace, please wake up. Don't leave me, you idiot. Please don't leave me. I don't want you to leave me. I don't want you to leave me like mother did." This is where, well, Ace goes, "Oh, god damn it, Naruto. Can you ever just let me go to sleep early? Why do you have to be so damn loud?" This is where Naruto just jumps and, well, hugs Ace, and Ace says, "Ow, my arm. Hey, Naruto, what the hell?" This is where Naruto says, "Sorry about that, Ace." This is where Ace looks towards the side of him, mostly to the left, well, not left, right of him, because the left side was actually Naruto. The right of him was Hana, and Hana just hugs him all the time. Ace says, Hana, please get off from me. Ow, my arm. Do you people not see my injuries? This is where, well, Hana says, "Oh, I'm sorry, Ace-kun." This is where Ace kind of blushed because he never thought that Hana would call him kun. This is where Ace says, "Yeah, Hana-chan, just get off of me, please. My arm still hurts." This is where Hana does blush also because she realized what she said and what Ace also said to her. But this is where, well, this is where, well, uh, Ace said, well, can I go back to sleep if without you two kind of screaming at me from waking up? God damn it. But of course, Ace just lays back down, and this is where he winds his eyes to say, wait, where's Itachi? He stands up really fast, and this is where Hana says, he is right now into the next of the bed over there. This is where Itachi is sleeping, and this is where Itachi wakes up and says, what the hell do you want, you idiot? Why do you scream out so damn loud for my name? Itachi kind of wakes up kind of tiredly. His eyes really does hurt, and it's barely even opening it. It's where Ace says, oh, good to know that you're okay and didn't actually die to that masked man, since you know you're a pathetic weakling. This is where Itachi gets a tick mark and says, what the hell did you just call me? This is where Ace says, oh, I just call you a pathetic... This is where Kunai almost hits him, but this is where Hana grabs it and tells Ace to sit down or she will break his arm, and tell Itachi not to throw kunai or she will stab out his Sharingan out. And this is where both of them get scared, and this is where Naruto also gets scared from her. This is where Ace says, okay. This is where Itachi says, yes ma'am. And this is where Naruto gets scared, and is kind of just holding tight onto his brother's arm, getting very scared. And this is where Hana says, oh, I'm sorry there, Naruto. This is where Naruto says, please don't hurt me. This is where Hana says, I'm not gonna hurt you. I just hate your kind of, well, brother and Itachi. They're just annoying. This is where, well, Naruto says, understandable. This is where Ace goes, understandable, you said. This is where Naruto says, I meant. This is where Naruto runs away, but yeah, because he gets scared. And this is where Naruto, he goes behind the door of the kind of hospital because he is scared from Ace trying to kill him because, yeah. This is where, well, Hana just chuckles a little bit, but yeah, Ace just says, little brat of mine. This is where, well, Menma gets there and says, so, what the hell happened? This is where, well, Naruto says, oh, they're just fine. Luckily. Naruto, Ace is fine. This is where, well, Menma says, that's good to know. This is where, well, behind them, this is where, well, someone runs past them and says, Itachi! This is where, well, Itachi says, great, this is where Ace says, I really thought they were going to explode from the door and blasting fire attacks. Right now, demanding what would happen. This is where both of them thought in their head. This is where, well, Sasuke runs up to Itachi and says, Itachi, are you okay? Big brother Nissan. This is where, well, Itachi says, I'm okay. Sasuke, come here. Sasuke kind of runs up to Itachi, and that's where Itachi still pokes him in the head, but Sasuke kind of falls down and says, Itachi, what the? Why? This is where Itachi loves, he still loves his brother. This is where he laughs at him, because this is where he says, sorry about that. Just know that I'm always okay. Besides, I'm stronger than Ace. This is where Ace says, what did you? This is where Hana says, shut up, you two. This is where both of them get scared, and this is where they sit back now, not trying to say anything. And this is where Sasuke says, oh, well, that's cool. Then maybe I'm stronger than Naruto. This is where Naruto busts into the room and says, what the fuck did you just call me? I am not that weak. This is where Menma is trying to grab onto him, saying, wait, Naruto, you can't just fight people for calling you weak. This is where Naruto says, nah, fuck off, well, not Enma. Menma, I'm going to kick his goddamn... What? Not Menma. I'm actually going to change his name to Enma because, well, I keep changing his name too much. So yeah, his name is Enma. Of course, he has red hair instead of blonde hair, but yeah. And I should probably... So yeah, Enma is saying, no, Naruto. This is where Naruto says, nah, fuck that shit. I'm gonna beat your ass, you fucking Uchiha. This is where, well, both Ace and Itachi thinks, well, that's happened. The rivalry happens. This is where both Sasuke and Naruto just glare at each other with like fire kind of coming off of them. But yeah, it looks like to be lightning, but it's fire. This is where, well, they just see, great, we gotta start a war between this shit again. This is where, well, Sasuke says, yeah, you think you can defeat me? You're not. This is where Itachi says, calm down, Sasuke. This This is where Naruto says, "Oh yeah, you fucking brutal, you fucking." This is where Naruto gets screamed by Ace. Says, "Naruto." This is where Naruto says, "Yeah, yes, Ace, Nissan." This is where Ace says, "God damn it." This is where Hana smacks her head and just hits Ace in the head and even Itachi and saying, "You two really have to stop this whole anger at each other, rivalry anger at each other, because if you keep doing this, then your two brothers, younger brothers, will keep fighting if you two die." This is where it takes, yes ma'am. This is where she glares at both Naruto and Sasuke, and they just both hug each other because they're scared. This is where Enma's also scared, and right now hiding behind like some table because he said, "Holy shit, she's scary." This is where, well, we go into a few days later, and of course, this is where Sasuke, he is training to kind of get stronger. This is where, well, Ace is right now with Itachi just talking. Of course, Itachi kind of sees that not Sasuke, Ace is still with a kind of casket, and this is where, well, Itachi has both of his eyes kind of like bandaged up, but he can still sense around. This is where, well, his father was kind of worried about Itachi somewhat. You see here, Itachi's father, Fugaku, was not the best. So yeah, Mikoto was the one worried about her son. And worried about Ace also, because she can see Ace as kind of like another kind of friend figure for Itachi, but yeah. Now, Ace was the one to actually be able to kind of fight against Fugaku and almost kick the shit of him. But yeah. Now, Fugaku, he didn't get defeated by Ace. No, he didn't get defeated by him. He got defeated by Rayleigh. Rayleigh came out of nowhere and just fucking sent a small fragment of Conqueror's Hawking and just knocked out Fugaku, and every Uchiha just bowed down straight to Rayleigh because they're all scared. This is where Rayleigh says, "Oh, I'm just here to get Ace. Come on, Ace." Ace kind of nodded, and of course Ace did have kind of bruises when he was fighting against, well, Fugaku, because Ace at that time was actually, well, 12 years old. This is where, well, Rayleigh was only looking after them just to make sure that they weren't that hurt. This is where, well, Fugaku was knocked the fuck out and did demand to fight against Rayleigh again and got his ass kicked, this time by using Kenjutsu. Yes, Fugaku gave up. Fugaku just gave up on using anything against Rayleigh. Rayleigh could easily see him from a mile away without just looking at his direction. Rayleigh was one time just drinking tea, talking to Makoto, and this is where, well, Fugaku tries to throw a kunai at Rayleigh, and of course Rayleigh, he just like saw his like sandals kind of like ripped and torn, so he bent down, and of course the kunai just flies past and hits, well, Naruto, and Naruto was made out of fire at that time, so of course the kunai just cuts off his arm, but this is where his hand reforms, and this is where he was confused. Rayleigh, he grabs a piece of, well, like, a piece of, like, how should I say, not a piece, well, so you know those, like, food picks and all that, like, those wooden picks and all that, this is where he grabs it, throws it straight to, well, Fugaku, hits him in the pressure point, and knocks his ass out. This is where Rayleigh was kind of annoyed with him trying to hurt one of the children of Goldie Roger, but of course he wasn't that angry. He was just laughing and chuckling, but yeah. This is where, well, Mikoto is pretty nice, and of course she was okay with both Ace and Naruto kind of just being around, well, the Uchiha compound, even in what to call her house. So yeah, of course is where, well, Fugaku is never, ever trying to fight against Rayleigh again. That, and he doesn't really want to fight against Ace or Naruto, because he can see Ace is stronger now. Thanks to Rayleigh's, Rayleigh's help, he got more stronger. This is where, well, Naruto's also pretty strong, but he acts kind of dumb, but sometimes he gets very angry. Just kind of angry enough to kind of burst into blue flames and scaring the shit out of so many people. Thanks to his blue flames, because he can burst into blue flames when he gets angry enough. But yeah, of course, it's the same with Ace, but Ace's flames are orangey. But yeah, of course, there's where, well, Fugaku says, fuck that. Fugaku, he is worried about Itachi, and had to be kind of worried because he knew that Itachi is now a Chunin rank ninja. And he knows that his son is a prodigy, but at the same time, Itachi doesn't make himself to be a prodigy, doesn't announce himself to be a prodigy. No one in the village knows that he's much of a prodigy, because Itachi doesn't try to make himself stand out to be a prodigy. Ace, on the other hand, legit acts kind of goofy and dumb, just so people wouldn't expect him to be a prodigy. Just so he wouldn't be bothered by that. And that's, well, he doesn't want people to bother him with that, and doesn't want his little brother to be bothered by the same damn thing if they were found out that he was a prodigy. Ace is always worried about his younger brother, always. Itachi's the same, so of course that happens. So, but of course we go to Sasuke kind of training, using the fireball, well, style, the Uchiha fireball, and of course he managed to make it bigger. Of course he's been training to kind of get the improvement from his brother Itachi, not his father this time, Itachi, because he wanted to show that he is a big kid. This is where, well, Itachi was very impressed and told Sasuke to kind of train in kunai throwing and all that, and not to get himself hurt. But yeah, now of course Itachi and Ace did meet. Shinsui was very impressed fighting against both Ace and Itachi, and even Hana if you kind of add the mix of them, and their teamwork is extremely good. This is where Shinsui did try to put them in a Genjutsu, but Ace managed to break through and punch his ass. But yeah, this is where Itachi managed to also break through without having the what's called MS, because he didn't have the MS at that time. But now with the MS, he can probably break through and beat the shit out of Shinsui. But yeah, now their teamwork is trying to get better. But yeah, this is where, well, Ace is also trying to get stronger. But yeah, Itachi is the same and Hana's the same. This is where, well, we go into a time skip of, well, 2 years later. This is where Naruto and Enma has actually became stronger. Now, of course, Enma doesn't have what they call a high affinity to, well, fire. Not really. It's not orange. It's purple. Because he has purple eyes. So, of course, he is able to use purple flames. But, of course, is where, well, it might look to be a higher powerful ability than Naruto's ability, but of course they actually rival each other in those flames. But of course this is where Enma can just use that. But of course this is where, well, it's a different color from, well, blue flames, so yeah. But of course this is where, well, other than that, they are very strong in the academy classroom they're in. Mostly it's called 1B, or not 1B, B, or, I'm calling it B. B, and of course class A is where Mento and the others are at. But yeah, of course this is where Naruto and Enma has met a couple of people in that classroom just to kind of chill and kind of talk to. But yeah, of course this is where both Ace, Itachi, and even, well, Hana are all 16. Of course this is where Ace has become way older and stronger and is not much of an idiot like his 14-year-old counterpart. And this is where, well, Itachi's the same and Hana's the same. This is where, well, Hana has actually taken a very liking to, well, Ace, because even though they were younger, she always had a kind of small crush against, well, Ace. She didn't really like Itachi that much in that kind of manner because, well, she didn't really like the fact that he was kind of quiet and shy half the time and very respectful. She really didn't like that because, well, the Inuzukas are kind of like beastly humans and all that, and they like people to kind of be rough and kind of rude half the time and all that. Well, not that rude, but kind of rough and all that. And since Ace is kind of like a person who's opposite from Itachi, like nice, brightly kind, and can also be sometimes rough, and you have to go in battle to combat in taijutsu. But yeah, but of course Hana took a liking to him more. This is where Itachi is actually with Izumi. But yeah, Izumi or I don't remember her name. It was that one girl before the Uchiha Massacre. But yeah, now the Uchiha Massacre hasn't happened, and Danzo has tried sometimes to get Itachi and Ace into the Root Ambus. No, Ace burns all of it. Now before what's it called? Ace was going to burn it off. Rayleigh appears, knowing about Danzo's plan, and didn't want, well, the two sons of the Pirate King to kind of be found out. So what Rayleigh did is kind of ask someone with red hair to kind of destroy this root organization. That's where, well, the person with red hair was mostly the uncle of both Luffy and, well, not Luffy, both of Ace and Naruto. This is where, well, he destroys the whole program of Root in killing Danzo. Now, Holocene was kind of shocked to find out that the red hair Shanks, that from the pirates, came to the Leaf Village just to destroy Danzo and his roots. Didn't even know how he found out and was confused. Of course, this is where multiple people fear what's called Shanks, even though Shanks is a pirate and should be only feared through what's called other islands instead of the five great nations. Still, the five great nations did fear what's called a lot of people from the sea, like Shanks and his crew, like other what's called Yonkos, and especially, well, someone named Goldie Rogers. So they do know about the legend myth Goldie Rogers. But yeah. Is it where, well, Naruto is kind of 12 years old. Well, not Naruto. But yeah, Naruto and Enma are kind of 12 years old. And they are about to graduate the academy. Now, of course, I should mention one thing. Naruto has actually managed to grab a sword. Well, he managed to kind of have a sword for a present by Rayleigh. Of course, Ace was the same to kind of get a sword, but he got it when he was 16. It was because, well, Rayleigh didn't really trust Ace to kind of use a sword or see if he can even use a sword. Naruto was very interested in the fact in swords, so of course Rayleigh did give them a present. He does visit a couple of times, once in a while, once in a blue moon, but you know what, he just visits it. Because, yeah, of course, it were, well, Naruto got a sword. I should mention this, how it looked like. So this is what Naruto has. The sword is named Kurokara. Now the sword is from Blue, whatever it's called. You can see right here. Blue, whatever. I fucking forgot what it's called. You know those people that kind of exterminate those ghosts and all that? Yeah, that's what it's called, but I forgot what they're called. But yeah, whatever. So that's what he has. Something called Kurokara the blade. This is how the blade looks like with the sheath and other things, but yeah. This is the sword that Aces has. Now, of course, it can transform with flames thanks to his, like, flame devil fruit. But yeah, that's what the sword actually has. Its name is Fairy Flames Katana, but yeah. Now, yes, they have two different swords that Rayleigh managed to find and give them. Now, I know one thing. I know someone's gonna complain and say, no, give them Enma and the, what's it called, Heaven Cut or whatever. No, because fuck off. I don't care about making, well, people request what ifs, yes, but I'm not gonna make it what you're gonna think about it, because I'm not gonna really think of making them have those weapons. Instead, Enma is actually given towards, well, Enma the Blade is actually given towards Enma, because Rayleigh kind of noticed that this person's name is Enma and actually can use purple flames. So of course he gave him that sword because he kind of had it from an ancient, well, not ancient person, mostly a person that kind of hold on to it. A person that he knew a long time ago, mostly named Oda. But yeah, of course, where, well, Enma has that sword and he does kind of fight with, well, Naruto and kind of clashing with their own blades, but yeah. So of course they have that katanas and all that. And of course this is where Ace Burner uses it. He kind of has it on his back. Naruto has it on the side of his, like, well, right mostly. Not right, left. And of course this is where, well, Enma has it on the side of his left also, and of course they just get ready to fight each other every time they see each other. But yeah, mostly in training, but yeah. This is where, well, Enma does not know about armament hawking or conquer saga or anything like that, but he does get a little bit of training from, well, Naruto. The understanding from Naruto, but yeah. This is where, well, everyone in, well, the academy is being tested. Now, of course, this is where Naruto and Enma does pass because they're extremely smart. And no one actually tries to make them fail. That's where Mento did kind of tell them that she failed. Now, of course, Enma and Naruto are talking with other people. One person has glasses, like black glasses, and of course his eyes are covered up because he doesn't want to show anyone. His name is Fanshin. This is where another girl is with bluish hair, well, lightish bluish hair, bluish eyes, and can actually use eyes as talking to Enma. His name is Estef. Someone else with blondish hair and what's called blondish hair that has two ponytails and kind of dull blue eyes is talking to a girl with pink hair and blue eyes. Well, not blue eyes, purple eyes. And of course, one is named Junko, one is named Suki. This is where, well, Enma does get told by mental about how she was failed, and of course she can't be a ninja. But then she got told by Mizuki about the secret test and all that. And of course, this is where she was telling them right in front of, well, Enma, Naruto, and, well, almost everyone else that's kind of friends with them. This is where Enma kind of got suspicious. Naruto also, almost all of them got suspicious. Mento's a little bit dumb in this one, so of course she didn't think that anything was going to happen. So of course, Mento then goes off to kind of go do the mission, but this is where Naruto and Enma look at each other and nodded. This is where everyone else kind of nodded, also disappearing. Going into where Mento kind of told, well, Enma, where Mizuki would be. This is where, well, when Mento took the Scorpsilian, before Mitsuki can even tell anyone, Horusen did get warned, so of course, Horusen was telling the ninjas to go and all that, but of course, this is where he told them to look at the other side. He did get told by Enma and Naruto that they would be the ones to take out Mizuki. This is where, well, he knows that both Enma and Naruto are strong, so of course he nods, just telling them to be careful. Iruka is also going there because he didn't expect Iruka to be there. So of course, where, well, Iruka is fighting against Mizuki, and of course Mento is crying, kind of wishing her older brother is here. And this is where, well, kind of people appear. This is where, well, it's Banshin, Naruto, what's it called, Enma, Estef, Junko, and even Suki are there. But also another person appears, kind of saving a Fuma Shuriken from hitting, well, Mento. And this is Sasuke. He grabs the Fuma Shuriken and gets angry, grabs it and throws it back at, well, Mizuki. Mizuki widened his eyes, thinking that there's no way Uchiha would appear. This is where Sasuke has the Tutomoe Sharingan in both of his eyes, getting angry the fact that Mizuki tries to kill Mento. Now, both Sasuke and Mento has become friends. This is where, well, Sasuke saying, Mento, are you okay? This is where she nods and says, yeah, I'm okay. Thank you, Sasuke-kun. This is where Sasuke says, yeah, you're welcome. This is where before Mizuki can even, well, he dodges a shuriken, and of course he throws two more Fuma Shurikens. Sasuke gets ready to actually dodge, or even tries to kick them away or grab them and push them away from Mento kind of getting cut. But this is where two slashes appear. Well, not appear. Two, well, mostly one slash on both of the Fuma Shurikens appear, cutting through them, being burnt just right through them. This is where both people that appear was Enma and Naruto. Naruto was right now sparkling in blue flame. Right now, Enma's kind of using purple flames on his blade. This is where, well, Mizuki widened his eyes and said, damn it, why is there more? Damn it. Did that bitch tell everyone, this is bad, but this is good. At the same time, Enma is here. That's where Mizuki had to dodge a kick from the tree that he was on. This is where Junko was there trying to kick him, but this is where he also had to dodge a fast jab from Suki. Suki then added wind chakra trying to blast him. This is where he dodges, but he also had to dodge the illusion style from a Kurama. Yes, Rin was there because, well, yeah, she followed him a lot. Because she is friends with him and doesn't want to see any of her friends kind of get hurt. This is where he had to dodge a bunch of, like, these star kunais. Because these aren't normal kunais, they're made out of star energy. This is Vanshin throwing multiple stars at Mizuki. Mizuki has to dodge. He didn't expect multiple kids to be here. This is where he managed to be on the ground, and this is where the ground froze underneath him. He was like, what the? This is where multiple people are appearing. This is where Iruka appears, saying, Oliver, you're here. This is where Naruto and Enma, well, Enma says, no one would dare touch my sister. This is where Enma's pissed. This is where Naruto calms him down and says, we can't kill him. We have to interrogate him. This is where Mizuki says, you think you can kill me? I would not die. This is where he takes something in his mouth like a pill, and this is where he became monstrous, like if he was having a curse mark. Because this is an ability to activate his curse mark. This is where, well, something that, well, Orochimaru gives him just to know what will happen. This is where Mizuki laughs and rushes at all of them. Naruto, he dodges an attack. This is where he sends a kick straight towards, well, Mizuki's face. Mizuki did get hit by it, but didn't get affected. This is where Enma appears, slashing one of his arms off with the Enma blade. This is where Mizuki screams out and roars. This is where Naruto says, oh my ear. is faster. This is where Esther sent Ice to freeze, well, Mizuki, but that didn't work. This is where, before she was able to get punched by Mizuki, this is where Vanshin appears making a star shield. This is where blocking that punch. This is where both Suki and Junki, let me say that again. Junko and Suki appears. Suki sent a very powerful wind style. Junko sent a very powerful water style. And Rin Kurama did manage to put a trap under, well, Mizuki. Mizuki roars and blasts all of them away. This is where, well, Aruka didn't expect for these people to be, well, these students to be this strong from Katasu's, well, class. But of course, seeing that Mizuki is stronger, Mizuki rushes at them with blinding speed and anger. But he didn't get far. He got cut immediately from, well, Naruto. Naruto said, I won't let you hurt my friends. Naruto's body is kind of igniting in more blue flames. That's what Enma says. I won't let them hurt my sister or my friends. I don't care who they are. So both Naruto puts her, well, both Enma and Naruto puts her blades together, and this is where, well, purple and blue flames ignited together from each other. This is where, well, they say it's because we won't let anything happen. This is where, well, they send a slash down. This is where an X of blue and purple flames appear, cutting Mizuki into kind of just on his chest. Mizuki wanted his eyes. This is where Mizuki was burning. He didn't expect this much pain. But of course, it's pretty regenerative, but not that fast enough. This is where before Mizuki, like, widening his eyes, he rushes at them, doesn't care, blinding speed. This is where Naruto and Enma widen their eyes, because they wanted just to knock out Mizuki, but before even letting Mizuki get close, someone appears. Someone with a cross, a bone cross behind him, because this is Ace. Ace kind of has a tattoo of himself, kind of like a pirate, someone, because he did kind of find out the history from who his father is, from Rayleigh. So of course he wanted to show that his name is Ace D. Portgas and not actually Ace D. Golden, because yeah, he doesn't want to take Goldie Roger's name. But of course, this is where sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that. But of course, this is where, well, Ace appears, sending a very powerful fire burst straight towards Mizuki. And this is where Mizuki opened his eye, because one of his eyes was kind of cut out from the attack of X. This is where, well, he looks into a pair of red eyes with a different pattern from the three Tomoyas. This is where Itachi says, go to sleep. This is where he does go to sleep. Bah! This is where Hana gets there and says, damn it, I wanted to fight him. You two are such annoying. This is where Ace laughs and says, Hana, dear, you don't really need to get angry. This is where Hana says, don't call me down in front of children. This is where Ace says, sorry about that. This is where Itachi says, whatever, you two. Let's just bring him back to the Hokage Tower. This is where, well, Sasuke says, big brother. This is where, well, Itachi says, I'm so happy you actually protected her. I knew you would make friends. This is where, well, Sasuke blushes and says, yeah. This is where, well, this is where Ace kind of sees, well, Naruto. Naruto's kind of tired also. This is where Naruto puts his sword back to the sheath. And this is where Ace kind of pat him in the head saying, good job, blood bro. Just make sure not to overdo yourself like that again. You remember the last time what happens when you try to overdo yourself with those blue flames? Yes, I know that. He passes out. This is where Ace managed to catch him and says, all of you can go back home. I'll take my little brother to the house. This is where all of them got worried, but this is where they are not disappearing because they know about Ace. Ace is someone very powerful. For being such a, well, still 16-year-old, he managed to get into Jonin rank. Same way Itachi being skilled in his MS. And not overusing it like most of the time. And of course, he doesn't have that disease, but yeah. And this is where, well, Hana, on the other hand, she's pretty good with her kind of command under, well, the dogs and all that. And of course, this is where, well, she would have become the clan head, but she denied it from her mother. This is where her mother was wondering why, until she realized that Hana wants to actually have Ace's last name because she wants to kind of get married when they're older. This is where Tatsumi kind of doesn't disapprove from Ace's attitude. Ace can be really nice, kind, and other things. So of course Tatsumi doesn't really disapprove. Now of course she didn't want to give Kiba the clan head position because, well, he's too brash and too out there. But yeah, this is where, well, Tatsumi is really wanting to beg her, well, daughter to come back and take the clan name, even if Ace has to be in it. But that doesn't really work. But yeah, this is where, well, we go into, well, Mizuki being interrogated and telling them about he was working for, well, what's it called, Archimaru. Now, this is where, Mento did teach, well, not teach, mostly told, Horusen that she learned a what's it called, jutsu from it, and kind of showed that she can make like 40 clones. This is where Horusen was shocked, but this is where he wasn't that shocked. He knows that she has a little of the Nine Tails. Then she thinks, then, well, not she, mostly he thinks about it, saying, wait, Enma has more than Nine Tails. And Naruto's pretty strong in chakra controlling. I wonder if I can teach them those jutsus. This is where he taught both of them the next day how to go do shadow clones. Menma can actually do, well, not Menma, Enma can actually do, well, what's it called, like 4 times more than what's it called, well, mental. And Naruto can only do 20, but of course there were actually quality and not quantity, like what's it called, Enma can do. But yeah, this is where, well, Horusen did tell them that quality is more important than quantity. But yeah, this is where, well, Naruto nodded with that information. This is where, well, Enma also did nod. But yeah, this is where Naruto asked if he can also do shadow clones. And why does he do shadow clones when he's doing paperwork? Horusen says, okay, you two can just leave. This is where when they leave, he smashes his head in the fucking table because how much of an idiot he is. He taught 2 kids these S-rank, well, this S-rank jutsu, and he realized he can do it also. He could have made fucking clones of himself just to do the damn paperwork. But of course, he is not that bright. He's too old. But of course, this is where we go into, well, the academy. Now, Naruto and Enma are actually put on a team together. This is where, well, Mento, Sasuke, and even, well, someone else, what's it called, Shikamaru? No, not Shikamaru, wait, no. Well, it was Mento, Sasuke, and Hinata put onto that team, while Sasuke was switched out to be put onto Karenai's team. But yeah. Now, Naruto, Enma, and, well, what's it called, they were put on a team with, what's it called, a girl named, well, Junko, who was on that team. And of course, this is where, well, their team leader is named, well, what's it called, they got to have a, well, Sasuke and, what's it called, Mento and, well, Hinata were put on Team 7 with Kakashi Hatake. The team that both Enma and, what's it called, Enma, Naruto, and, well, Junko had was a person named, well, Ranji. The same teacher that teaches both, well, Itachi, Ace, and even, well, Hana to become a strong Jonin, well, not there, well, no. Instead of what's it called, their Jonin sensei being someone named Ranji, it's Ace. Ace decided to ask if he can have his brother on his team. So, of course, he was okay to have his brother. Itachi wanted his brother, but of course, where Kakashi already stole him, and of course, Itachi was pretty angry and asked Kakashi to kind of come with him so they can both talk. This is where Kakashi was pouting at the sight of the fact that Itachi threatened him and would throw his life for the fact that he wanted his little brother. This is where Hana didn't want to train her what's called little brother. Instead, she just wanted to kind of be a kind of double assignment to kind of be helping, well, Ace's team. This is where, well, Itachi had to join another team, but yeah. This is where Itachi threatened Kakashi if his team versus Itachi's team loses. Then this is where, well, Itachi's going to take Sasuke away from that team, even if he has to force Kakashi's hand. This is where Kakashi's paling at the sight, but yeah. This is where, well, I'm going to end it off for, well, part 2, because my throat is hurting, but other than that, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato. This is part 2 of this what if. Part 3 will be in whenever. But other than that, bye bye.